Hi, Assalamualaikum. Today, I will demonstrate to you how to answer a question related to Chapter 7. Okay, first thing first, we need to read the question carefully and identify which formula or which model you're going to use. Okay, so in this example, basically the question is related to multiple growth rate. Okay, how we want to identify either the question require you to use a multiple growth rate or not. Okay, let us see what type of information provided by the question. Okay, first thing, the question give you some information on the market price, which is a current market price, which is 4 ringgit. Then, they also give you some information on the earning per share, which is 50 cent, and dividend payout ratio of 35%. Okay, so the dividend of Gaga will grow at 10% for the next 3 years, and after 3 years, the dividend will grow at 8% perpetually. So these two different rate is a key point in identifying either the model is multiple growth or a constant growth. For a constant growth, they only give you one growth rate. Okay, but this question, we give you two different growth rate. First, 10% for the next 3 years and then 8% perpetuity. So if you see this type of information in the question, so it tells you that you need to use a multiple growth formula in calculating the intrinsic value of the stock. Okay. Then they also give you some information on the required rate of return, which is 10%. Okay, remember, in identifying either the stock is worth for you to buy or not, you need to calculate the intrinsic value of the stock and compare the value with the current market price. So first thing first, you need to know the amount of dividend. Okay, so in this case, they don't give you amount of dividend, but in some question, they might give you the amount for dividend, and those dividend we identify as a D0. But in this one, they don't give us amount of dividend. So first thing first, you need to calculate the amount of dividend, which is D0. Okay, how to calculate D0 or dividend per share? So dividend per share, basically the formula is dividend or total amount of dividend divided by number of share. But we can also use the other formula since this question give you information on dividend payout ratio and earning per share. So here, what is the formula for dividend payout ratio? Okay, the formula for dividend payout ratio is dividend payout ratio is DPS divided by EPS. So in this case, they give you the dividend payout ratio and EPS. So we can plug in the value into the formula, then we can calculate the D0. So how to get the D0 is DPR times by EPS. So in this case, our DPR is 35 cent with times by EPS 50 cent. So the amount of D0 is 18 cent. Okay, next we will calculate D1. So how to calculate D1? D1 is equal to D0 times by 1 plus G. Okay, so in this case, so D1, this is the D0 is 18 cents times 1 plus G. So G here is 10%. For the next 3 years, dividend is grow at 10%. That's why 1 plus 0.1 equal to 1.1. Okay, so 0.18 cent times 1.1, you will get 19 cent. Okay, then we continue calculate D2, D3, and D4. Okay, remember here for D1, D2, and D3, the growth rate is 10%. That's why the value over here is 1.1. However, after 3 years, the dividend will grow at 8%. That's why here we have 1.08. Means that D4 is D3 times 1 plus G. And the G should follow the year 4 growth rate. Okay. So after that, after you have calculated the dividend, the next important things you need to calculate is price. So here, which year price you need to calculate? So we need to calculate the P3. Why P3? Because remember, as I mentioned in the class, if you have two different growth rate, so the P, we will follow the first growth rate period. Okay, so since the first growth rate period is 3 years, so P here is P3. So P3, the formula is equal to D4 divided by R minus G. What is R? R is the required rate of return. So in this case, D4, we take the value of D4. So D4 is 25 cents divided by R is 0.1 minus the growth rate of year 4, okay, is 0.08, and you will get the value of P3 is 12 ringgit 58 cent. Okay, after you have got the value of D within 1, 2, 3, 4 and P3, so now we will calculate the intrinsic value of this stock, which is P0. So the formula for P0 is P0 equal to D1 divided by 1 plus R to the power of 1 plus D2 divided by 1 plus R to the power of 2 and so on. So you need to be careful over here. So since we calculate P3, so dividend also we will use only D1, D2 and D3. The D4 is not included in this formula. D4 only required for calculating P3. Okay. So then, we plug in the value of D1, 1 plus 1 to the power of 1 and so on. So you will get the P0 is 9 ringgit 96 cent. So this is the intrinsic value for Gagah stock. So the question asks you to make a decision or to identify either the stock is required or is worth for you to buy or not. How we want to compare? So means that we want to compare either the stock, the price is overvalued or undervalued. So in this case, okay, the market price is 4 ringgit. So then the market price 4 ringgit, then the intrinsic value is 9 ringgit 96 cent. So the stock is undervalued. Okay, so if the stock is undervalued, so is it worth for us to buy? So what are the meaning of undervalue? Undervalue means that the price, the actual price is cheaper than the actual value. Okay, the actual value is 9 ringgit, but the market sell at 4 ringgit. Therefore, the stock is undervalued and the stock is worth for you to buy. Okay, I hope you understand. So in next video, I will show you another example of question. Thank you very much.